after a full week of the Environment Minister, Catherine McKenna, taking to the airwaves to call carbon dioxide, the product of human respiration, pollution, she's gone radio silent as another Quebec city dumps more raw sewage into a river. The city of Longueuil, Quebec, has been given the go-ahead by the Quebec Environment Ministry to dump nearly 150 million liters of raw human sewage into the St. Lawrence River in mid-November. Now, the discharge will take 8 days, beginning the 15th of November. The city says this is all necessary to repair a water line that runs underneath the river. According to this CBC article, you know what? By the way, CBC, if you're watching this, and I know you are, this is called giving someone credit for their work, and you really should try doing it the next time you report on one of my scoops and call it your own a week after I break it. Anyway, CBC writes, Longueuil plans to use floats to contain as much solid waste as possible. Longueuil says it wants to carry out the work before the river freezes. Oh, okay. I'm super glad they're screening out the condoms, baby wipes, and corn cobs from the sewage before it hits the river. Like that makes their poop soup discharge any more acceptable or less gross. It just hides it from the human eye. It doesn't make it disappear. They know that, right? Now, this is from the same article. The city insists there will be less impact on the fish because spawning season is over. Okay, wait. This statement fully acknowledges that there is an adverse impact on fish if the city's trying to mitigate the impact. My heart doesn't exactly break for dead fish, although they are a delicious and important part of the ecosystem. But the environmentalist movement really seems to care about the potential for dead fish and harmed marine life from just 2 extra oil tankers per day that the Kinder Morgan Trans Mountain Pipeline would bring to the port of Vancouver. The environmentalists also really seem to care about a minute chance that a pipeline to the East Coast might cross a river or two. That was one of the big reasons former Montreal Mayor Denis Coderre was against the Energy East pipeline to the east coast of Canada. But this is just the next in a long line of Catherine McKenna approved or ignored Quebec sewage dumps into the St. Lawrence River. McKenna personally signed off on a 4 billion liter sewage dump into the St. Lawrence River by that same anti-pipeline river-protecting Montreal Mayor Denis Coderre in 2015. That's right, guys. Carbon dioxide is going to kill us all in 12 years, but dumping raw human sewage and feces onto baby beluga, well, that's just a manageable risk, apparently. In February 2018, the city of Quebec dumped 46 million liters of raw human sewage in just 12 hours, again into the St. Lawrence, the toilet river of Quebec municipalities. And even though politicians tell us there are no adverse long-term effects of these enormous raw sewage dumps, I'm not so sure that's true when the city of St. Hyacinthe, Quebec, released 8.5 million liters of raw sewage into the Yamusk River over an approximate 48-hour period. The city killed thousands of fish and had to admit that they turned 10% of the water flow in the river to sewage. 10%. And on the other side of the country, a city governed by a series of anti-pipeline mayors, Vancouver, their False Creek normally has up to 6 times the acceptable limit of E. coli in the water, directly caused by the untreated sewage outflows into the Pacific Ocean. Last summer, an outbreak of norovirus hit at least 300 people who were consumers of shellfish harvested off the coast of British Columbia. Again, directly related to contamination from sewage outflows into the Pacific Ocean. Couple that norovirus outbreak last summer with a small-scale cholera outbreak in British Columbia this spring, again, because of untreated sewage outflows into the Pacific Ocean. Are you seeing a trend? So what's my point? Not only are these medieval levels of sanitation in parts of Canada that like to think of themselves as cosmopolitan embarrassing for the rest of us, it's disgusting. It's killing wildlife, and it's becoming a bit of a public health crisis with the revival of an illness we haven't really seen in Canada, about in the last 100 years or so. But if you paid attention to Canada's Environment Minister, and I do, you wouldn't know any of that. She's too busy fighting the war on carbon pollution, and plastic straws. For the Rebel.media, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. Silicon Valley and big tech loves to censor and deplatform conservatives, but we've built a way around that. We have a new Rebel Media mobile app. It's available on the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. Download it, give it a try, and help fight censorship wherever you go.